So we're too excited. We're jumping right in. It's Fitzcarraldo. I don't know the year, 1982. Was it 1981?
Oh, that's a good question. Fuck, we're so excited. I didn't even sign in yet.
I'm too excited for this one. I'm too excited. This will be the intro of just us being excited for it. Yeah,
82. Yeah, good call.
This is maybe the last in the Herzog retrospective. Maybe not. We might do a little Dieter and maybe Lessons of Darkness for some documentary stuff, or maybe some newer stuff. But for the time being, I think we're ending on a Fitzcarraldo note.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
This may be his most visually iconic. The shots in this are, when you see something about Herzog, they show pictures from this movie. When you do the life in pictures, there's always the shot of Klaus Kinski standing in the fog with a boat going up behind him.
Yeah, the cover right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's the image that he's I think most known for, probably.
Yeah, I would agree. Even just the boat in the jungle.
Yeah,
is what I have associated with Herzog since I've known him.
Yeah,
or known about him rather. I don't know him.
Knowing about these images, how do you feel this was your first time watching it? How do you feel about it overall?
I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm surprised you don't like it more.
Well, I'll tell you why I don't like it though. It's because, like, Heart of Glass, which is my favorite of his that we talked about already. Yeah, that's the one where the whole cast and crew is hypnotized, and it's such a strange story, and it's folkloric and kind of super or magic realistic. It's so much Herzog turned up to 11. I find that this is more of just a kind of a classic epic kind of story. It's a 3-hour long movie. It's got the love interest. It's got characters. It's got the length to support the epic nature of it. I feel like it's more of a toned down Herzog. Like, you still have the images that are like his search for new images is what he's always looking for.
Right.
But I find that the images here that are new only come maybe in the last third of the movie, and the rest is kind of a normal. It's a bit melodramatic. He's in this high society kind of turn of the century stuff. Rubber barons are there. It's more of a story about people and his relationship with his rich girlfriend who's paying for everything, and you feel bad for him. And is this all for nothing, or is he gonna? It's more of a story rather than just these new images that he's trying to show you, or these very strange kind of, I don't know, stories he's trying to tell. This is still a strange story, but it's more toned down than something like Heart of Glass, or even like Stroycheck, like we watched, which is fun, but it's not an epic like this.
Right. I would agree with everything, but I feel like that's almost what makes it essential.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not my favorite either. Yeah. I also think Heart of Glass is probably my favorite.
Yeah, Heart of Glass.
But I think if you're doing a Herzog marathon or whatever, you need to watch Fitzcarraldo.
Yeah. Well,
I would recommend you watch it toward the end.
Oh yeah, I was thinking this would be more the intro to it, and you go, now I'm into the feel of it, and then you get the more weirder stuff after.
I feel like watching the weirder stuff first, and then watching the second I watched this, it was like everything connected with me with Herzog. Like I finally understood everything.
Really?
Like, I feel like after watching Fitzcarraldo, I'm like, okay, I think I get Herzog now.
Well, I'm glad you liked it then, Lee. I'm glad you liked it.
Like, before doing this, because we're doing the Lynch retrospective as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it and thinking about those two directors and watching their films. And I was thinking about how I found with Lynch, it's hard to understand what's going on story-wise, but I feel like I almost know more about Lynch on a psychological level, having viewed his films.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting that with Herzog. I was getting the opposite, where his movies were weird, but they were easy to understand. I just couldn't get what was going on in Herzog's mind.
Okay, I get that.
But after watching this one, I was like, oh, fuck.
You get it.
I get it.
Well,
everything just clicked because it's so accessible. It's so like you said, it's like Heart of Glass is like
a little more niche.
Herzog on the extreme.
Yeah.
Like it's everything he does right done to the extreme.
Yeah.
And then Fitzcarraldo is a little toned back, but it's the same themes I find that are consistent throughout his films. And it was just so like, it just made everything click for me.
I get that. I find that's fair. It's probably his most popular movie, this one too.
Yeah. I think I've heard Heart of Glass referenced more, but more niche. So like with like, you know, cinephiles and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Because, I mean...
Or Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu's fun too, but Nosferatu, I'm almost in the same feeling as Fitzcarraldo.
Okay.
We'll get to that when we do our fun special episode coming up in whenever that one happens.
Yeah.
the Fitzcarraldo, I find it's very fun and you got everything you need, but I don't know. I enjoyed it more than I did the first few times that I watched it.
Okay, cool. Okay.
But I felt like it's still more of a fun popcorny movie. Like you could watch this with your family and go, "Oh, this is kind of a movie from the early '80s," or it feels like a late '70s kind of movie. But it's kind of, you know, it's fun. And then something like Heart of Glass, you can't watch that with anybody, or they go, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I get that. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know if Herzog made this film more accessible on purpose, but it feels like definitely it's just easier to watch.
Yeah. Well, this is like his epic movie. You know, this is like his Godfather. You know?
Oh yeah, it's also much longer than I thought.
Yeah, it's like twice as long as all his other movies. Pretty well.
Yeah.
It's over 3 hours, I think.
I think it's just 240.
240, yeah. I mean, that's long.
Yeah. I actually loaded the wrong, because I have two versions, an HD version and the non-HD version.
Okay.
And for some reason the non-HD version is split into CD1 and CD2, so I have to actually change.
Okay.
Which one is it?
That's fun though. It feels like you're putting in a new VHS disc.
Yeah, I just doxing all my files.
Why, you want me to blur this out?
I don't think I have anything
doxable.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Fun starting off. We talked about it in Wake and Fright, those long 360 openings.
True, yeah.
And they do work here. I mean, it's still a type of, well, I wouldn't say a type of desert, but it's a type of kind of inhospitable terrain. It's the man against the nature, and this nature is strong.
Yeah.
What do I have here? A note I have is the length is necessary, though, for the type of story that it is, I think.
Okay.
Like, you could definitely cut this movie in half, you know? You could have the rubber baron stuff in one scene instead of 3 long sequences.
Yeah.
And I mean, the pulling the boat. Well, do we need a summary for the people? It's a guy who wants to...
Sure, we didn't really go into it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a failed businessman. He's a failed railroad guy in the Amazon. His girlfriend is very rich and she finances all his endeavors. He loves opera. Then he goes into the jungle to try and make a fortune off rubber to build an opera house in the jungle. He pulls a boat over a mountain to get to the rubber, and it all fails. And that's the end of it. He just fails in the end. Pretty well, or?
Pretty well. I think it's debatable whether or not he fails.
Yeah, well, he wins in another way, kind of.
Yeah. He fails economically.
Yeah, financially he loses. Yeah. But, I mean, he's still in the same position he was before. Or he's better off. I guess he makes money in the end.
I think spiritually as well, he's successful.
Yeah.
He gets his, in a way, he doesn't build an opera house, but in a way he gets his opera in the jungle at the end.
He gets some kind of opera, and it's a fun ending, I guess. I mean, it's not like, Heart of Glass or something, or
Yeah.
it's a broad or a broader for a broader audience ending. Like his stories always seem somewhat pointless, or the characters' endeavors seem somewhat pointless.
Yeah.
Or some kind of nihilistic a bit. But it's still, in this one, it's a happy ending still, even though he doesn't succeed in the original quest that he's out for. It still feels like a happy ending somewhat.
Is my jacket too loud?
No, it's pretty cool looking though.
Does my mic pick it up?
A little bit. Not it's okay.
Okay.
The coolness of it makes up for it. So at the same time, I think we're going to talk kind of loosely about the documentary that was made at the same time as this movie. That's Burden of Dreams. I watched it. It was the first time I watched it was for the podcast, and it's more about Herzog than anything, or about the filming of it. As a movie, it's good enough. I mean, it's on the Criterion Collection, Burden of Dreams.
Okay.
But as a documentary itself, I mean, it's just average, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
It feels like a documentary from the 70s. Like there's long points of narration where there doesn't need to be exposition about things. In this scene, Klaus Kinski's character is supposed to be going, and they'll tell you the entire plot of the movie before like a 5-minute behind the scenes thing, then another narration thing. It's okay, but it's very fun to see Herzog talk about it. I don't know if you saw anything about it, but some of the stuff is so fucking funny. Like at the beginning, he's very happy. And I have a few notes here to kind of give you a behind the scenes of it. He had Jason Robards and Mick Jagger were supposed to be the two main characters at the beginning. And they filmed 40% of the movie. And
oh my God.
Yeah, they were like pretty well halfway done. And then Jason Robards got, I don't have it. He got dysentery.
Nice.
Yeah, so he got dysentery, had to leave the jungle, and his doctor said that he couldn't come back. And then Mick Jagger quit once Jason Robards didn't come back, and they had to scrap the entire half of the movie that they shot. Then he went out and got Klaus Kinski, who we know he's worked with many times before, 3 times before, and they reshot the entire thing with Klaus Kinski. Like they filmed everything except for the jungle sequences with Mick Jagger and Jason Robards.
That's so funny.
And you watch it and you go, yeah, it's okay, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like a Herzog kind of movie with these kind of big celebrities. Like Jason Robards was giant and Mick Jagger is a huge celebrity. It doesn't feel like it fits the right, like it feels like it was almost be too, I don't know, too much of a popular movie or too much of a popcorn kind of movie. It doesn't feel like a Herzog thing without kind of Klaus Kinski going nuts in it.
Oh, Klaus Kinski is perfect.
He rules in it, and they fit so well together.
Yeah, he's absolutely just a fucking force to be reckoned with, this man.
Just a complete maniac.
Yeah.
But it says here it took 3 years to shoot the movie. The original location was shut down because of the natives there. There was an Indian council that were spreading rumors that Herzog would rape and kill all the people from the village and they shouldn't help him. And then 2 guys from Germany came and were showing pictures of the Holocaust, saying that was Herzog's last movie that he did with a tribe.
Oh my God.
And there was documentaries made about Herzog exploiting people and like how he takes advantage of all these indigenous people. And this is before he even shot any piece of film in the jungle. He's just trying to get the locations. And people in Germany and Europe are making these movies already about him, saying how bad this movie is going to be. But then 3 years later, it wins the Palme d'Or at Cannes. So
yeah, well, he had done a Gary.
Yes, and I mean,
there are some natives in there, aren't there?
Yeah, and there's some animal killing. We see some snakes die in this movie too. But I mean, yeah, for a movie in the late 70s, I consider this a 70s movie rather than an 80s movie. Okay, feels like it at least, but. I mean, it could be a lot worse. You could see horses being killed and monkeys being killed. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty toned down. There's no real slaughter in it or real gruesome moments. It feels just like a normal kind of epic kind of theatrical movie.
Yeah, I agree. I also, I've heard that about his films, that they're exploitative. Even Heart of Glass, I've heard cast in that light because of the whole hypnosis thing. Yeah. Although I'm sure the cast consented to being hypnotized.
Yeah, well,
I think it's...
Yeah, he was doing the hypnosis one at a time to everybody.
Yeah. But I don't know.
He does have other. I mean, this is part of a. It's not an outlier. It's part of a trend almost in his movies around this kind of time. Like the other one, like what's it called? Lessons in Darkness, is kind of going into the Gulf War and filming the destruction there. So he's kind of profiting off the destruction, and then he's kind of profiting off these natives. And then what's another one? Where the Green Ants Dream is another kind of thing with that's the indigenous people in Australia. So he's kind of not taking advantage of them, but he's casting them and using their stories to, I don't know, propel his artistic endeavors. But I mean, what do you want? He's making movies. He's telling stories. He's making art.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy who, like to make his first movie, or to make one of his first movies, he stole a video camera, right?
Pretty well, yeah.
Worked like the quote
for years, yeah.
The quote is like he felt like he had a right to the video camera because it was his tool to create or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and he would wouldn't he teach film class, like film students? But the class would just be like how to pick locks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, come on.
He says if you're justified in it, I mean, spiritually, anything goes. So you can steal things, you can lie to people. And that's how he would do most of his movies. In like La Soufriere, I think, is one about a documentary about a volcano on some French Pacific island, or he goes to the island and lied to everybody, said he was making a documentary about something else, and just started filming around the volcanoes and stuff. So like he'll lie to everybody to get in, just to get his shots and things.
Yeah. Well, I heard a few things about his documentaries even. Like there's, which one is the one where they're in the Arctic?
That's, Encounters at the End of the World.
Okay. I think in this one, there's a scene where the researchers put their ear to the ice to listen to some sort of aquatic creature beneath the ice.
Yeah, I think it's the songs of the whales underneath.
Yeah, something like that. But physically, if that, you wouldn't be able to hear anything.
Yeah.
Like he just told them to do that, but then shot it like they do that all the time, kind of thing.
Yeah, but let me tell you, have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful, that sequence.
It is, yeah.
That sequence is absolutely beautiful.
Little Dieter's Gotta Fly.
Yeah.
His obsession with opening and closing doors 3 times before he goes in and out, like that OCD thing.
Yeah.
Herzog told him to do it. There's like I watched an interview where Herzog is like, Dieter, he didn't actually do that, but I could tell that was who he was.
I mean, that's fair.
I was like, okay.
That's fair enough. But it's still, I mean, nothing that we're seeing in these movies is truth, you know? It's as close to truth as you can get. He's trying to tell us the truth of this character through the kind of metaphor. So he's showing you something visual to tell you how the guy feels inside, even if it's not true in real life. This isn't real life to start with. This is art life. It's a different realm. I think he's allowed to do whatever he wants in it.
Yeah, you've mentioned what's the term he uses? Ecstatic truth.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that before for Herzog. And I read an interview with him where he discusses it, and the way he explained it, that clicked for me because of my experience with literature, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
He said it's like when you read a good poem and you understand it spiritually before you ever analyze or interpret it.
Okay.
Like the ecstatic truth he's trying to show in his films isn't something you think about or something you like, oh, this is a documentary, so it must be true. It's something you feel. He wants you to feel for the characters. He wants you to feel that this world is true. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of truth.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's some kind of I don't know how to, like a disconnected sympathy for the person, or like you understand what he's trying to tell you without being able to put it into words.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel that in this movie?
Interestingly enough, I couldn't help but feel it for every other Herzog movie I've seen while watching this movie.
Okay.
Like that's what I meant when this movie made everything connect for me.
Yeah.
It also probably was because I did a little bit more research into Herzog for this movie as well.
Okay.
So maybe that helped too.
Mm-hmm.
But like I couldn't stop just connecting the dots between all of his movies and everything we have discussed about him and stuff like that. It just kind of all clicked. So this movie itself, I don't think made me feel that ecstatic truth as much as his other films.
Yeah.
But it helped me feel it in those other films. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. Well, this is a perfect movie to end on then if it ties the...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Like watching this movie helped me feel the ecstatic truth of his other movies. Fantastic.
I'm sure in coming podcasts we might jump back on something of Herzog, but
I think so. I think so too.
This is a good bow, I think, to end the retrospective.
Yeah, I agree. It was really informative and like you said, a good bow tie.
Mm-hmm. So what do we have here? Popol Vuh recurring soundtracks again.
Oh, the band or whatever, the musical group.
I think that they have been for every single one we've watched, I believe, so far. They've been the band that does the music for it. I think so.
Very cool.
Bare ass, funny insult.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too because none of them actually are. They're all wearing clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, what do I have here? It seems more story-oriented than image-oriented. Talked about all that.
But for a movie that's more story-oriented, there are a lot of images.
That's true. The second half, I find, is more image-heavy.
Yeah, I have a handful in the first half, but I have a lot more in the second half. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, all these ones, going to the opera is fun. Him with the blistered hands, and I mean, there's some great pans and stuff when he's in his little canoe going up to his shack. Those are fun when you see him, and then it pans down and you see the hole where he climbs up and back up. I mean, that's a great shot.
Right before this, right after this. Yeah, and I think, like you were saying before...
Oh, yeah, this shot. This rocks, this shot.
This movie needs to be 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you can cut a lot of these images out, but it wouldn't be a Herzog film without them.
Exactly. And I don't know, I wouldn't feel for this guy if I didn't have the entire thing. Him working with the kids and doing all this stuff and loving the opera so much.
I agree.
So goal-oriented that like reality and logic goes to the wayside. But I mean, it feels like Bridge Over the River Kwai or something, where it needs to be 3 hours long to get this. And at the very end you go, now that was a movie. You know, it feels like this should have a 20-minute intermission in the middle and you should be sipping cocktails in between.
Yeah, I think an epic is a good way, like you said. Herzog's epic. Although, in terms of like content and production and all that stuff, it is certainly epic.
Yeah.
In proportion. But it's interesting that we both kind of feel like it's not one of his best.
Yeah. I mean, for his aesthetic, I'd say it doesn't play to the full. It doesn't crank the volume up completely. It's still it's broad enough that there is an audience and that people enjoy it. I think it played at the Academy Awards or it wasn't accepted or something, but I mean, Where the Green Ants Dream, that would never play anywhere other than like an art house kind of place. Okay. Like that's not getting any con accolades. Whereas this is something that you can go, oh yeah, 3-hour movie, Klaus Kinski, Herzog, they're in the jungle pulling a boat over a mountain. This is a movie that's the scale of it, just by the fact of the length of it, makes it, I don't know, it puts it in a different category than his other movies.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. It's not necessarily worse than his others. It's just less Herzog.
Yeah, it's less him. It's different. It just feels different to me watching this.
Yeah. It's like we can call things like Lynchian.
Yeah.
We could call things
Hogan.
Yeah. Herzog-esque.
Yeah.
This is the least Herzog-esque film by him that we've covered.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he does have movies in his filmography that are just like director for hire movies, where some German TV station will hire him to make something like, I forget what the one's called, but it's The Diamond in the Sky or something. And it's about a blimp that goes around a big hot air balloon. I'm not sure if it would be that high up in the...
is it fairly recent?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few movies that are more... And even, I think, Wheel of Time, 10,000 Years Older. Yeah, The White Diamond, Wild Blue Yonder, I think, is more his. But all these kind of movies, they're more... He's a hired gun. He directs it. He directs it straight, but still with a little artistic touch. But they almost aren't considered Herzog movies when you see them.
Okay.
Happy People there too. I mean, even if he wanted to make them, they don't fit the aesthetic perfectly. Like the ones that we've watched so far fit the Herzog aesthetic to the T. And along with Wojciech, Nosferatu, and La Soufriere, Kaspar Hauser too. Fata Morgana, yeah, but we might do those another time.
Yeah, I would like to come back and do Kaspar Hauser.
Kaspar Hauser's fun. That's very sad, though, that movie.
Yeah, and there's one about a soldier who gets injured and spends some time on an island.
Oh my, I might not have seen that one. I'm not sure.
I think it might have been his first feature length.
Okay.
It was definitely before. Yeah, I think it might be. I don't know, but apparently that one's good. It's black and white. It's just about a soldier who, like I said, is injured and he ends up like on some
tropical island or something.
Yeah, for recovery or whatever.
Okay.
But him and his other buddies from the army who are injured just go insane because there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And they end up like fucking becoming terrorists, basically.
Okay, well, sounds in the aesthetic.
It's basically even dwarves started small, but with not dwarves, with soldiers instead.
Okay, well, that's another movie that he was attacked for being...
true, exploitative in some way.
Exploitative, yeah. Even though, I mean, these people signed up for it. They see the script, they know what they're acting for, and they're getting paid for it. I mean...
Yeah.
So, we've talked about it before, but I don't see how he can be exploitative here. He's creating something out of nothing, you know? These are not stories that are stolen from anything. These are like stories from his mind.
Yeah.
I have
even like Fitzcarraldo.
Yeah.
I mean, a movie like this, I can't imagine he wouldn't have had some type of translator on set with him to communicate with the native people.
He had a translator for that, but he's good, dude. In Burden of Dreams, he's speaking Spanish, German, and English throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I don't think the natives speak Spanish, though. That's it.
No, yeah, but he's. I was surprised at how well he was.
Multilingual.
And everything, and he had. It'd be a fun one to watch, though. But he has people like engineers and stuff telling him he can't do it, and they're quitting. And Herzog's going, yeah, well, if it goes wrong, 5 people could die. And the engineer goes, 5 people. We're like 50 people. And he goes, okay, well, we're going to do it anyways. You know, we make it happen. It's going to happen. And then he did it and nothing happened, you know? So,
yeah.
This movie is based on historical facts, but with a twist.
Fitzcarraldo?
Yeah. Fitzcarraldo was a real character who was Carlos Fairman Fitzgerald. And the same story, the natives couldn't pronounce his name. But the only thing that's kind of noteworthy about this historical character is that he had a boat that he sailed up a river, and then him and his crew dismantled the boat and ferried it across the land, or I don't know the right word for it.
Shipped it. That's still a ship.
They picked it up and walked across.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then reassembled it on the other side so they could sail up the other way. But it's much more epic to do it this way, to pull it over the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it becomes something different when he does that too.
Yeah, and I think whatever boat the historical Fitzcarraldo was dismantling was probably not a giant steel steamboat. No,
I believe it was 14 giant pieces or something. So I think it was much, much smaller than this boat.
Yeah.
There are some fantastic quotes from Herzog in the movie.
In Burden of Dreams?
Yeah, because it's like 3 years to film Fitzcarraldo.
Right.
So at the beginning of it, he's very high in spirits. He said that losing Mick Jagger was the worst thing that ever happened to him in his career. Like that performance is gone for him.
Okay.
So, and he deleted that character once Mick Jagger quit, because it was supposed to be Fitzcarraldo and like a sidekick. Mick Jagger sidekick. So he said,
interesting.
Yeah, he said Mick Jagger did too well. I'm just going to take that character out because no one can replace that performance. So then he got Kinski to kind of play both parts.
Okay, interesting.
But as the kind of movie goes on and the production gets longer and he has to move from different location to different location, and he shoots it in the actual rapids and everything, and he's shooting all this stuff for real, and he's actually pulling this boat up, and people are telling him he can't do it, and everyone's quitting on him. You see he gets more and more depressed. And kind of that one shot at the top where he's standing in the jungle is a hilarious interview that's maybe 2 or 3 minutes of him saying how the jungle is just filled with death and agony and horror, and he hates it so much. And there's nothing like, that's his face the entire interview, just misery.
Oh, God.
Pure misery. And he's saying how it's every sound is just agonizing, and it's the sounds of death everywhere you go. Death and perverted sex everywhere with the animals and overgrowth, and he hates it so much, but he loves it too. And it's an amazing interview with that. But in that part, he says, I shouldn't make movies anymore. I should go into a lunatic asylum, is nice. What he talks about. But then he also says, if I abandoned this project, I would be a man without dreams, and I don't want to live like that. I live my life, or I end my life with this project. And I guess he ended it, and it was quite popular. So good for you, Herzog.
Yeah, good for him. He did it. He pulled the boat over the mountain.
Mm-hmm. And afterwards, he dubbed himself the conquistador of the useless.
Nice.
So,
was that before or after he ate a shoe?
This was before, I believe. But yeah, it's a pretty fun movie. One thing I thought was very enlightening about Herzog in that documentary that he says is he thinks that the dreams that he has, like the burden of dreams that the title alludes to, is like he has these images come to him, these dreams, these stories, and he has to make them because he thinks that everybody has these same dreams, but he's just better at putting it down on paper. He's better at putting it into words, or not putting it into words, but
expressing it, communicating it.
Yeah,
I've heard him say that before as well.
Yeah. So
he feels like it's his responsibility as someone who is able to create to do so.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess that goes back to what you were saying with like beg, borrow, and steal to get it done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny too, because Lynch feels the same way.
Yeah.
Like I saw an interview with Lynch he was talking about how he used to be a painter.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how once he discovered film, it was just so instinctive. It was like he felt like he needed to, like it was his responsibility to make movies at that point.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, this is the day after Lynch's birthday. So happy birthday to Lynch.
Very true. He shares a birthday with someone else that the show is friends with. Another friend of the show.
Mr. Fellini as well.
That's it. There you go.
Fun enough.
Yeah.
I guess you saw the stories.
Our two favorite directors.
Pretty well.
More or less, pretty much, eh?
Here and there, you know.
Yeah.
But you enjoy this one quite a bit, but in different ways than the other ones.
I did. In a way, I felt maybe I was picking at straws here or something, but I felt like the way I was connecting this movie to the rest of the movies by Herzog we've seen, in a way, this movie felt like meta.
Okay.
It felt like this movie was like Klaus Kinski's character is a stand-in for Herzog, and the whole movie's a metaphor for Herzog making movies in general.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what you get from Burden of Dreams as well. They kind of have the same parallels, that this is his kind of mountain to go over.
Exactly. Like him hypnotizing the entire cast on Heart of Glass.
Yeah.
Would be him dragging a fucking boat over a mountain, because who the fuck does that for a movie? Herzog does. And
the same thing. Is it pointless to do it? Well, he has these dreams that he wants to finish.
Yeah, exactly. And like, no one understands this Klaus Kinski's character, Fitzcarraldo.
Yeah.
No one understands why the fuck he wants to build an opera house in the jungle when there's one, like, what is it, like 2-3 towns over?
Pretty well, yeah.
I mean, he rose there, so it can't be that far.
Yeah, and even his girlfriend is doing it out of pity.
Yeah.
Like, she feels bad for him to go, okay, have fun, take some money, you know?
Yeah.
But, I think he's a direct stand-in for Herzog, or the Fitzcarraldo character.
Yeah. But it made me think that also almost all of his characters are a stand-in for Herzog.
Probably, yeah. I mean, they're all part of the mind space.
There's a recurring theme that I only noticed during this film, where all of his protagonists are these deeply misunderstood characters with massive dreams and massive drive. Yeah.
And to the people around him, they're pointless dreams.
Right, exactly.
They're dreams that give you nothing in the end other than you achieving the goal, or you realizing the dream, despite the dream being nonsense almost.
Like Heart of Glass, the only person who isn't hypnotized. Or I don't know if he's the only person who isn't hypnotized in the cast, but the main character, he's like a prophet of...
Yeah, he is the only one not hypnotized.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to convince the town of this impending doom. Yeah. And it's this self-fulfilling prophecy that they just end up pushing themselves into. Yeah. And for Herzog, that must be how he feels as someone who has these visions and who's able to create them, but no one understands them.
That could be it too. Yeah.
He's, creating all these films and everyone else seems mad to him. They seem hypnotized because to him, it's like, it's the ecstatic truth that he's creating and no one understands it. And then you have Strocek, who goes to America for the American dream. And again, no one understands him. Yeah. I haven't seen Nosferatu yet, but I'm sure the vampire is misunderstood.
But that one is a bit different though, because that is a shot-for-shot remake of the...
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But like, pick any other one. Wojciech is about a misunderstood army guy who everyone makes fun of, and he's kind of sent to shit work, but he gets these kind of prophetic visions from the earth, and he's kind of going a bit nuts. And Cobra Verde, he's the one kind of white guy in Africa who's doing all these things. And if you scroll up a bit, just look at the title, like The Great Ecstasy of the Woodcarver Steiner. I don't think anyone else other than Herzog would make a movie about a woodcarver.
Yeah, we haven't watched The Enigma of Caspar Hauser, but I'm familiar with the true story it's based on.
Okay, yeah.
It's like about... Well, I know the same dude who plays Strocek plays the Caspar Hauser.
Yeah.
But historically, Caspar Hauser was a child. And they found him in like he was locked in a room. No one knows how he got there. No one knows who locked him in. But for as long as that kid can remember, he's been in that room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is Caspar Hauser as a guy locked in his parents' basement. And then one day his parents just leave him on a hill and he doesn't know how to talk or walk or do anything. And he has to learn all these stuff as an adult.
Yeah. Even his documentary work, like Little Dieter, it's just about a fucking weird guy who's misunderstood.
Yeah, Little Dieter is fantastic, though.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's my favorite documentary.
And, you just pointed all his movies here. Scream of Stone is not very good. I don't like that movie. But I mean, Lessons of Darkness, if you look at that, we were kind of talking about that one before. I mean, where would you find beauty in this horrible war? You know,
Yeah.
like the images he shows, they don't look real. They don't look like they're from this planet that we're watching. There's fire 200 feet in the air with a completely black background and silhouetted characters walking through this landscape of just destruction. It looks like you're in hell or something, but it's going on. And I don't know who else would see it that way as such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many fun ones. Even Encounters at the End of the World. I mean, you're looking at these kind of misunderstood people who all converge at the bottom of the world.
Mm-hmm. Into the Inferno too. I mean, he paints these characters, even in his documentary films, in a light that is so mythological almost.
Exactly. Well, I think we see it the same way, where there's not really a straight line in between his fiction and nonfiction work.
Right. Yes, definitely.
It feels very much like they cross the boundaries in both of them.
Yes. He almost actively pushes to make his fiction work as real as possible and to make his nonfiction work as fake as possible.
Exactly. Well, we were kind of talking about like, ooh, that's kind of interesting that the camera is set up perfectly in focus, ready to zoom as this chicken falls off a cliff in a Gary. I mean, Is it real? What's real? We're not sure. And then, like you were saying, in Little Dieter, where he opens the door 3 times, we don't know what's real, but all this stuff is there for us to feel something, something non-verbally.
Exactly. And whatever that feeling he's trying to elicit in us is the truth he's after. It's not. Exactly. But he's not making Dieter open and close doors 3 times to make him look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
We're supposed to understand something deeper about Dieter through that action. Mm-hmm. And we're supposed to understand, like, to me, it was the damage, the trauma that he went through.
Yeah.
Having him do those things makes that more apparent to the audience. Because if it was just some normal dude, you'd say, oh, okay, so what?
He's fine. Yeah.
Right. So when Herzog says he didn't actually do that, but that's who he was.
Exactly.
It's about that deeper that deeper connection he's trying to bring to humanity through blurring those lines between fact and fiction.
Yeah. And I believe it's in Ballad of the Little Soldier. Like there's a part where one of the mothers of the soldiers is standing outside of her, I guess, home, but it's like a shack, and she's just kind of doing the motion of a spinning wheel or like a sewing wheel, but there's nothing there. She's just kind of doing the motions with her hands. And even if and the point was that this was something taken from her, and that's why her child has to go and fight or something. But it doesn't matter if that's true or not. We understand her kind of pain and the pain of the child just from her motions of doing this.
Right.
Like, we don't need that to be real or not. Maybe she didn't have a spinning wheel to start with.
Yeah.
But we understand something different. And like you were saying with Little Dieter, it's not a documentary to understand the Vietnam War. It's to understand this one character a little bit more than we did before.
Yes.
Or to at least empathize and sympathize with him.
Yeah, it's interesting how these crazy stories about these weird characters feel more human because of the way Herzog does what he does than other documentaries.
Yeah.
Like, some documentaries are so straight cut factual, everyone seems robotic. Like, there's no connection there.
Well, those are like the classic ones where you see the Civil War, and it's a
right, yeah,
this is Gasherbrum, La Montagne Lumineuse, like, they're not real documentaries in the strict definition of them. These are art pieces.
Yeah. Good for Herzog. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's why I liked Fitzcarraldo so much. Is I kind of, all of this started to make sense to me while watching this movie.
Yeah, I get how that works, and it's a good movie. I like it more than I did the other times I've watched it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
This might be the third time or third and a half or so, and I think it was my favorite time watching it this time. I sat down and I watched the entire thing straight through, had a few snacks, and it was a great, fun movie. But it does feel like one of those old epic movies, A Bridge Too Far or Bridge Over the River Kwai, something like that. You know, these old war movies that are 4 hours long.
Yeah.
But they need the length to get the impact that they have.
Yeah. I did during the first half find it was dragging on.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, these are such strange images too. Just the one you were clipped on a second ago. They're fantastic. Once we get into the jungle.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just a different world. Yeah.
I'm glad I got my hands on an HD version too, because the other version I have is like.
Well, you got to get the Blu-ray player, Lee. I'll lend you all the Blu-ray.
Oh, I know. I know.
Fantastic. You can watch it in 10 different languages if you wanted to.
Yeah, I find it funny. Just I can never tell if I have the right language set.
Yeah.
Because no one's speaking the same language, I'm sure.
That's true. Yeah. I think only Klaus Kinski, I think, is speaking English in it. And okay. I think all the other voice actors are all different actors doing different voices for them.
Yeah, and I watched it in German for some fucking reason.
Okay.
You know?
Fun, yeah. I think I watched it in German once and every other time was English.
Yeah, I have no idea why I watched it in German. I was like, whatever. I can't decide, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I watch everything with subtitles anyways, so.
So, yeah, that's fine.
Makes no difference.
One fun little fact I have about the movie is that they kept having to redo takes because the natives thought that the movie was hilarious and they kept laughing at every take.
Oh my, that's very funny.
So they were like kind of knocking, and like a lot of the behind the scenes is them like elbowing each other, giggling and stuff, pointing, going, this is fun.
So funny.
But they kept coming back, these guys. They could have done other things, but they were coming back for like 2 years to film this fucking movie.
Hey, I mean, what else are they going to do?
Pretty well. Good on them, I mean.
I would have done it.
This is kind of funny, though. I mean, how good is that phonograph needle that the fucking thing doesn't skip on a boat in the Amazon? You know,
yep. I was thinking that too.
That's a pretty good needle. That's no Audio-Technica needle.
I was wondering too, when they were lugging the whole ship over the mountain, I was like, how is this thing not tipping over?
This shot here, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this is what's crazy is that's all real. That's a real like 14-ton boat or whatever it was, and they're really pulling it over this mountain.
How's it not just tipping?
I don't know.
I have no idea either.
That's the magic of it. Yeah. In reality, though, these aren't the things that are pulling it up. There's tractors on the other end pulling it.
Okay.
But like all that, you know, the sequence when that big spindle, like the pulley system that's hooked up that breaks.
Yeah, the first time they start lugging it.
Yeah, that's all real. That happened during shooting, and then he added it into the script.
Nice.
So that was kind of the same thing that we saw in Gary, where the river.
Did this actually happen?
I'm not sure this actually happened, but I think there was someone who died on it, but it was like not having to do with filming. It was
like someone.
Someone fell over in the jungle or something, got hit with a coconut. Like it was a different accident that happened. But yeah, this whole scene here where they're pulling it up and then the thing snaps and the boat falls backwards. Like that's all real. That's a real thing that happened where this tractor was pulling it up and the tractor broke the rope. The boat falls backwards and they just kept shooting and filming. Yes, yes. And all those things are inserts afterwards.
Okay, so they actually didn't have to refilm it. Like they actually caught that happening on camera.
Yeah, this is like the first take. They got it, and this is genuine excitement because they'd been waiting for months to get it to.
That's so fucking funny.
But all this stuff is insert shots that they filmed probably a few days later. This is probably real, and this wide shot is the same take as before, where the boat falls backwards.
Right.
But this is all real, and they were just so happy that they could film anything because they're so bored just sitting in the jungle not doing anything. That's all genuine. Yeah, they're happy. It's moving. It's going, and. I don't know. It's just fun how he mixes the reality with the fiction.
Yeah. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this second half, especially once they get the boat on the mountain, and actually when they're going on the river too, I could just like scrub anywhere, and it's all shot so well.
Yeah. Well, it feels like you just sit back and you listen to the sounds of the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
You have some Popol Vuh kind of whoa, 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 whoa music in the background, and just watch these beautiful. It feels like I'm on vacation or something. It
made me very much miss the big screen. I wish I could have seen this in theaters.
This would probably be astonishing in the big screen. Like seeing the boat go over and that foggy shot that we were talking about. That's the kind of iconic cover photo. That's probably amazing.
The ice, it's funny. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but the whole running bit with the ice, I just think is so funny.
Yeah.
That this dude tries to make money making ice, and everyone around him is telling them, who the fuck needs ice? Yeah. He's like, no, dude, it's good ice.
It's a mix of acid and salts. It's good.
Yeah. You can't, could you even use that ice for anything? Like, it's just chemicals. It's chemical ice, dude.
Salt. Yeah, it's probably
just
so
salt. Funny.
Just cold salt. They're cool shots, though. They're pretty sick. Like all this stuff, it is what you said. Like it's mythic.
Yeah, it's very, very cool, I find.
Yeah, like I'm just looking at it now, and I'm at a loss for words because it's just too cool. I do have one thing, though, that was not addressed in the documentary.
Okay.
I kind of noticed, and I would like to get your opinion on. I should have taken a time code, but it is in the climactic end of the movie when the boat is going through the rapids.
Oh, I have the exact same note.
Is it the miniature note?
Yes, exactly.
That's what
I was going to ask you.
I don't know.
This right here.
Because you see how shallow the focus is in the back?
Oh, I was convinced that was a miniature.
I think it is a miniature for sure. There's one point where you see down one of the, what's it called? The chimney at the top of it is capped off.
Yeah, okay, here.
At least that's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure this is a miniature because those water droplets look too big.
Oh, yeah. This is insane. Even with, the ones falling, for a waterfall to look like this, that size is insane.
But the thing was that they really did film in the rapids in the Amazon and all that stuff with Klaus Kinski jumping out of his room and freaking out and stuff. Like all this is actually in the rapids.
That's what confused me too, because there are shots where the boat is getting fucking like this. If the boat's getting smacked around. Well,
one camera guy ripped up his arm, fell over, was getting raw iron scratched all over him, and they're filming it in the rapids. But I'm pretty positive that that's a miniature. It was never addressed in the documentary or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty certain. I think you're pretty certain. And that's
I'm convinced.
Fucking good phonograph needle. Yeah,
well,
I'm pretty.
Why do that?
I don't know. I mean,
it's such a weird. Instantly.
Yeah.
The second I saw it, I was like, okay, what's going on now?
Well, you spot it that the focal length is weird. Where you'd expect a wide shot like that, you'd expect everything to be in sharp focus. But then you have that shallow depth of field, and you go, "Is this a miniature?" Why is it blurry in the background? And I don't know. The lighting is almost too perfect on the water.
Even like you said, the water, the droplets are massive compared to the boat.
Too big. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks so strange. Even you see the way the ladders and the ropes sway.
Yeah.
There's a plastic bounce to them.
Oh yeah. I'm seeing it all now. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is
definitely
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is weird. He had the boats built for this movie.
He had how many?
He had 3 identical boats built for it. So he had one boat for the water, one boat to bring up the mountain, and one boat parked in, I forget the name of the town, but to shoot the interior stuff.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I think is the name of the place. But yeah, I think if this was real and that was smashed against a rock wall like that, the boat would be completely destroyed and everyone would be dead,
But why did they just set up a camera somewhere, abandon ship, and fucking toss the thing down the river?
That's what I want to know.
I guess that's too much permanent damage to the jungle.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, how many thousand trees do you think they cut down to pull that boat over?
Yeah. You got me there.
But actually, the thing was that they cut those trees down to give the land to the natives who were helping them film, because they would help them buy the land from the government, I think is the story of how they got all the natives to be in the movie.
Oh, cool. So it's like a labor trade for land?
Yeah, exactly. Because they don't own any of the land. These natives just kind of roam around the jungle.
Right.
And they're kind of getting kicked out by these big logging companies. Then Herzog said, you come help us film, we'll clear the land for agriculture and you can buy it after. Or we'll kind of help you buy it.
Right.
And I'm not sure if that worked in the end, but that was at least the original agreement.
Okay. That's cool. That's an interesting agreement.
Yeah. I mean, he is very sympathetic to everybody, Herzog. Like he wants there to be more diversity and everything so that there's more mystery, there's more intrigue and stuff to, not even to learn. I don't think he wants to learn things. I think he just wants to wonder about things. Like I don't think he's worried about learning the language of the native people, but just to hear kind of tongue, he goes, wow, isn't the world beautiful?
Yeah. I mean, that just plays into the whole ecstatic truth thing, right? He's not trying to understand their truth. He's trying to feel their truth. Yeah,
exactly. And it's all about the wonderment of everything, of the natural world and of our place within it. But very cool shots. It does feel like the most professional movie of his that we've watched so far.
Yeah. Do you know what the budget is? What the budget was?
Pretty big.
It must have been if you got 3 identical boats built. Yeah.
I think he even bought the original boat in Ecuador or something, had it shipped to where he filmed, and then had 2 more remade. So DM 14 million.
What is DM?
Deutschmarks, maybe? Maybe 14 million Deutschmarks?
Here, IMDb will say it in...
Yeah. It is a West German movie.
Where does it usually say? I don't use IMDb.
Yeah, around there.
Trivia.
Around there. Oh yeah, well, it was not accepted. Yeah, okay.
I feel like a budget isn't trivia. It's just...
Yeah, it may be up a bit more. Opera in the Jungle.
Am I wrong, or does they usually say?
Yeah, usually always says.
Oh, IMDb Pro. I have to pay now to view that information.
Well, I can just do 14 million Deutschmarks into American.
Yeah, true. I'm sure it's still north of 10 mil. A little bit more.
Let's see here. It's double. So 1 Deutschmark would be 2 Canadian dollars.
Oh, so it was like 28.
Yeah. So it'd be like 30 million probably with the inflation. Oh, with inflation, maybe like 40 million.
Damn.
But does that sound right? Because that's a big budget.
That's massive.
3 years in production, though.
True, and he did have to pay Mick Jagger.
It's true. I mean, 10 million was just to Mick Jagger.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I would have liked to see Mick Jagger in it, but it would have been a different movie. I think Klaus Kinski fits the role perfectly.
I think having seen it already, now I'm interested. I've for like on a anniversary edition or whatever, in the box set, include the raw footage of.
That would be awesome, dude.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Because in the documentary, they only show one scene, and it's the one where they storm the church and take over the bell tower.
Okay.
No one's allowed to go to church until he can get an opera in the jungle. And it's Jason Robards and Mick Jagger ringing the bell, running around. I'm sure you can find that on YouTube, but it's a fun enough scene, but it's not Klaus Kinski doing it like a lunatic, you know? Like
yeah.
He's got like just any shot with his face in it. He just has this burning intensity of a lunatic.
Oh my God. And after like, I don't know what mark, like the 30-minute mark, there's not a single scene where he isn't dripping with sweat.
I know.
It's so funny.
It rocks so hard, dude.
And he must have worn the exact same suit for 3 years straight.
Yeah. That's like the Borat suit where he never washes it.
Even there's a shot near the end where his ass is stained brown from sitting in the mud for so long. So funny.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's perfect.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
He is perfect in this. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. Klaus, ring the bell.
And it's so funny what he's yelling to. No one's allowed to go to church until I get my opera.
The whole town is down there. And I like after this, it's just a hard cut of him in jail, too.
Yeah. They storm in.
Yeah. There's a long hold, and then, okay, it's just in jail. Well, I guess it didn't work, Klaus.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh, I would love to just wear a white suit all day.
And he gets lit out because some kid doesn't know how to play violin.
Yeah. Well, he looks good with, what is that? He's missing a few strings. Looks good. I wonder here what's from the original filming and what's from the reshoot. Is this from Mick Jagger's stuff? Like, are they praying for Mick Jagger or are they playing for Klaus Kinski?
That's interesting. That's a good question.
But I mean, it's all part of it, I guess. All these different elements of the miniature, what's real, what's fake, what's planned, what's not, what's reused. And it all works together in the end.
I like
that's cool.
I hate these rubber guys.
Yeah, they're a bit dicks.
Oh, they bothered me.
Yeah. Well, I believe that the guy next to Claudia Cardinal on the far right, he's in Gary Wrath of God too, I think.
Oh, really?
I think he's the guy who's still loyal to the crown of Spain, and he gets thrown in jail, and then they cut his head off at the end.
Oh, I think you may be right.
Yeah, without the pinch and darker hair.
I believe his name is
Miguel, maybe?
I think that might be, yeah, it's Cholo. That's the mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Sorceress too. Nice. I'm not sure what his name would be. Station Master. Oh no, that's the guy in the jungle with the
he was quite the funny character.
The little short guy, yeah.
I felt so bad for him though.
Yeah, he's been waiting there. He's got a wife and kids all waiting for the train to come back to town.
Just so he can get abandoned again.
Yeah.
Rubber Baron?
Oh, maybe. Rue pulling it. Yeah, this guy.
He is not in the Gary.
Oh, maybe not. Similar looking features, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Claudia Cardinal's good. I like her in everything, I think.
I'm not familiar with her. I like her in this.
Yeah, she's in all these kind of femme fatale. Well, not really femme fatale, but kind of nice.
Oh, that's a Fellini.
Yeah. Yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was a big name then.
Oh, yeah, she's a big star. Yeah.
She must have absolutely... Oh, Jesus Nazareth? There you go.
Yeah.
I've heard of many of these.
She's in tons of stuff. But
she must have loved working with Klaus Kinski.
Oh, probably. I don't know if she wanted to go to the jungle. At first, she's like, oh, I'm going to be going out with Mick Jagger or Jason Robards.
Oh, no.
No, it's going to be sweaty Klaus Kinski.
There's actually, when they get the boat finally,
mm-hmm.
and they're sending off.
Yeah.
I think I spotted a scene where Klaus goes to kiss her in celebration.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
She wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I think I know the one. Or I think it's when they're on the boat watching or something. But it is very funny.
Yeah, it's like you can almost tell. There's a brief moment where you can tell she was like so sick of this guy. No offense to Klaus Kinski, but I've heard nothing but bad things about him.
He's probably an absolute insane man on set. Bringing knives and guns and flipping out and yelling at everybody. It's probably but I mean, everyone was probably tired of him on set, but the second filming ended. I'm sure he was a nice guy and it was a great time to talk about it. Go, Klaus Kinski punched me in the head one time.
I wish I had that kind of story.
Oh, is that it? He went to go.
I think it was right there. Yeah.
There.
When they go, I'm pretty sure he goes for it and she looks away.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Poor guy.
Klaus. Well, take your shot, Klaus. Take your shot.
Oh,
there was one
stuff.
funny thing. You know the scene before when Klaus is introduced to rubber, and they're kind of showing him how to make the rubber, and they're pouring this kind of white stuff on that spindle. The cameraman in the documentary, it's like a behind the scenes, and the camera guy's yelling at Herzog. He's like, "Fuck! It looks terrible. It either looks like a loaf of bread or a big piece of shit."
Is that actually how they did it, though?
I guess so. I think this is just white paint they're pouring on it.
Well, I don't know. Have you ever seen a rubber tree? I went to Panama one time when I was a child.
Yeah.
On vacation, and we did like a jungle excursion, and they showed us a rubber tree. And it had the same carvings as this one.
Okay, yeah.
Like that's actually how they this was it. Yeah. And it just looks like white sap, and then it hardens into like, it feels like an elastic.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, unprocessed, it feels like a very dry elastic.
Okay, like a brittle that can break and flake off all the time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Like
but this is all
fingers are just stained in whiteout.
Yeah. But this all looked pretty much
it looks
like as I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
So that might actually have been just a straight up rubber tree.
That's cool.
But I remember it drying a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, right away.
Yeah. Yeah. Like by the time it was in my hand, I had a chunk of dry rubber.
Well, that's pretty cool though. I can't imagine how much money these rubber barons must have been making.
I wonder. That's an interesting.
Like this is probably endless amounts of money in like the turn of the century.
Yeah, must have been like oil barons.
Oh yeah, this is supposed to be like 1900 or something, I imagine.
Because it seems like it's pre-electricity.
Yeah,
everyone has a lamp, like an oil lamp.
And what is his name? The boat captain says, "Oh yeah, back in '97, I crashed or something."
Oh, does he?
I guess that means 1897, but I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. This movie is definitely not in the future.
No, that's true. This is 2015.
I think this was a cool, yeah.
This is a cool shot.
Yeah, I think I have it marked down.
I mean, there was a lot of exposition in this kind of why they're going over the mountain.
Yeah.
There's one river here. One river here. You can't go here. And then later there's just the full drawing of Klaus drawing it. And I think even the mechanic gets it explained to him by the captain again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're really feeding it to the audience. I don't think that feeding was necessary, but I enjoyed all the scenes where they were feeding it. It didn't feel like I was getting a spoon in my mouth with applesauce on it. It felt like I was still chomping onto a steak and potatoes, but.
Yeah, because it's such a. Like, I don't know, if you're paying attention, you know why you get his plan. You understand it.
Yeah.
I felt like every time they fed it to me, it didn't feel like them explaining it to the audience again. Mm-hmm. It genuinely felt like them explaining it to the characters.
That could be it. Yeah. Because, it would be an outlandish idea for these people. Pongo das Mortes. Death.
If my I'm not sure how good my geography, or I don't know if it would be on I don't even know if it would be geography. Mm-hmm. But these smaller rivers would flow towards the Amazon, and the Amazon flows towards the ocean. Correct?
I guess.
If from my understanding of how rivers work, I think that's it. Mm-hmm. Just like here, all rivers flow towards the St. Lawrence, and the St. Lawrence flows towards the ocean.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was, for some reason, the entire time, I was thinking that the river flowed down.
Okay.
And then they passed the Pongo de Mortes and ended up in them. So I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. But then I was like, wait, no. The rivers flow towards the Amazon, and the Amazon flows towards the ocean.
But then this is also southern hemisphere, so if it's glacial melt or something, then it would be going the reverse direction than how we would see it if their maps are still oriented north.
Is that how it works?
I get. Well, I mean, I think at least in Canada, it's all glacial melt. That's why it goes out to the ocean, like.
Oh, that makes sense.
But I'm not sure. I don't know South America how it works because I mean,
well, they have the Andes.
That's
true. All glacial melt.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure how it works. I don't know. I'm not sure. And I'm sure there's certain rivers, or you can find one river here and there that goes the wrong way for some reason.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, even if you take out the geography of it, people still kind of understand where he's getting at. They go, okay, there's rapids here, you can't go, so you're going to go around and up.
Right.
Something. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure how they flow.
Yeah, because when he shows him the rapids the first time here, yeah, it looks like the river's going the other direction. Like it looks like they're approaching a waterfall.
Yeah.
Which would mean the river flows away. Yeah, see?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're meant to believe that this is not the path of the river, but some mountain cliff that's dumping water. Because if they're moving towards a waterfall and they're on top, then the river would be flowing in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
That's what confused me.
Yeah.
But then
they should be going upriver now.
Right. They should be approaching the base of the waterfall, not the top of the waterfall.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here...
Yeah. Maybe this stuff is just water from the rainforest above.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another shot I have marked down.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water.
It must have been absolutely beautiful to film this.
Yeah.
Like for the crew and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was probably beautiful week 1, but on year 3, what's this? A miniature?
That's the exact same spot.
Where's this in the movie?
This is right here when he's showing him the river for the first time.
Because that looks like a miniature to me too.
Yeah, I agree. The wide makes it look a little bit bigger, so the boat they used might have been like a few feet, not like a mini, but like a pretty large replica.
A bigature.
Is that a word?
I think they do that on Lord of the Rings. That's what they called it.
Really? That's funny.
I think so. That's funny.
Here,
I didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah, this doesn't look as small as I thought it was.
No, but it still looks like a miniature.
Yes, it does. Yeah. But this looks like it's probably 12 feet wide would be my guess.
Oh, you think that big?
Maybe like 8.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah, because these look, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I was thinking 2 or 3 feet, maybe.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I don't know. But who knows?
Either way.
Yeah.
Definitely not the full river.
No, that's for sure. Yeah. That is for sure. It's nice being sweaty and rich, right? This guy's throwing money around all the time. Oh, the joys of losing money.
Oh, yeah. I hate that guy.
And Klaus Kinski's just trying to buy bleach for his hair. He's struggling to buy bleach.
Some interesting subtext that I read into for absolutely no reason. Mm-hmm. That I don't even know if it's accurate because I watched it in German.
Okay.
Just like because of the fact that a lot of Nazis fled to South America after World War II.
Yeah.
Depending on when this movie was filmed, the entire time I was like, is Klaus Kinski's character just an ex-Nazi?
Well, this would have been before World War II, though.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I could not stop thinking that. Blonde ass hair, blue eyes, German guy in South America. I was like, my first thought was this guy's a fucking Nazi.
The funny thing though is he's supposed to be an Irish guy.
That made me laugh a lot.
I'm Fitzcarraldo.
He is probably the least Irish white person I've ever seen.
I know, really. They should have gave him orange hair or something. Gave him a green suit instead of a white one.
Got anything else?
No, well, I mean, all I have left here as notes is just the shots, some cool shots.
Yeah, same. I have when they untied the boat.
Yeah.
At the very end, I took a small note. I just wrote, "Holy shit, they fucking pranked him." Because at first I thought they helped him lug this boat all the way over the mountain just so they could set him free in the rapids as a joke. I thought they fucking pranked him. I thought that was it. I thought it was literally, we just spent all that time helping you get this boat over just so we can kill you. That's the joke.
You dumb blonde bitch.
But then they explain that
the spirits of the river.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because they misinterpreted the initial myth that the white vessel was their savior, but it wasn't. It was a sacrificial savior.
Yeah. And also, that's another kind of motif that we see with Herzog too, is this kind of these fake myths that he builds into the stories.
Yeah.
Kind of fake mythology or fake legends.
Yeah, because that's something I thought of too. I was like, well, that's definitely not the first white boat they've seen.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just to push the plot, really.
Yeah. But I guess it was the Caruso, the opera at the top of the boat that made them, that convinced them it was the voice of God or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. One thing that always gets me every time I watch this movie is before the sequence when there's the kind of drums in the jungle playing, I always think like, is that part of the soundtrack or is that supposed to be like diegetic in the scene, you know? Because it's added in post-production, but I guess the editor added it as a round sound effect, like around the world rather than a point in the world. And it always tricks me. I'm like, I'm like, oh, fuck, stuff is kicking off now. The drums are kicking in. But then it's supposed to be these natives in the jungle actually playing drums.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
that didn't confuse me.
No, but it throws.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. I kind of get thrown a little bit like, okay, yeah, it's just a bit of an editing thing. And there's a few shots in that kind of first, I guess, 45 minutes or so when he's still in Iquitos with the rubber barons. There's a few cuts that are kind of like, it's either the splice on the edit itself, like the tape is off a bit and it kind of moves the frame a little bit on the first couple frames of the cut, or it's the editor cutting in before the camera, like the cameraman stabilizes and like sets his shot.
Okay.
There's a few shots that kind of move and there's a little wiggle in them. That's another little editing thing that I was noticing. Just happened 2 or 3 times. I think one of them was at the beginning when he shows up at his shack in the morning or something. There's a little wobble to it. I'm not sure the time code exactly. Yeah, it might have been this shot here. You see it kind of is a bit of a shake maybe.
Yeah, I think I did notice that. There's a small little jolt to the left.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah, you see the little wiggle? Like you cut in right now, saved 1 second in the full time length, and you don't get that little shake at the beginning. It feels like a static shot that starts. So I don't know if
that did feel like you said, like it was just the cameraman setting into position.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not an aesthetic thing. It's the guy going, fucking stupid tripod's not getting the right spot.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if that's the thing that Herzog, because Herzog edits some of his own movies. I don't think this one was edited by him, but I don't think it's an aesthetic thing. I think it's more of a,
he did not edit.
No. Yeah. So I think that's more of the editor holding shots longer than necessary or something.
Yeah. He works with Thomas all the time, right? As his cameraman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably the editor.
I think, and Thomas too is, I forget what the last movie we watched of Herzog's, but he said that the cameraman likes just to go out with his camera and film the world, and Herzog will take stuff from that because he likes the way that he sees the world. And he notices little moments of an ant on a leaf or something. And he likes the way the camera feels like it's seeing things.
Very cool.
Yeah, it might have been a Gary where he was talking about that.
I think the last one we watched was Even Dwarves Started Small.
Okay, it might have been that then, yeah. But that's fun. Do you want to jump into favorite shots? I'm a little dissuaded about what the reviews are going to be because we can kind of expect what they're going to be.
Yeah, I think. I'm not sure actually. It's quite high of an average. Do you think it's just all going to be people?
Yeah, well, I think the high reviews are going to be, fantastic movie, Herzog's best, a big epic, and then a triumph of cinema. And then the low reviews are going to be like, exploitative, it's too long, stupid movie, nothing.
I think we're going to get a lot of boring.
Yeah,
this was boring. This was long.
I'm almost tempted to go into a final thoughts about Herzog. I'd like to get your final opinion on him later in the episode, at least.
Right. Yeah.
But I think we should end on a bow tying retrospective.
Yes, I agree.
And we might have to do the same thing next week with another bow tying retrospective, and then we'll start some new retrospectives. Oh my God! I've already cast my vote.
Yeah,
to cast your vote.
It was a very good vote at that. I think I have mine as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is exciting. Do we have the live exclusive now, or are we waiting?
Oh, you want me to say it?
I'm excited. I want to know.
I think you might be able to guess.
Okay. Can I have a hint?
Canadian director.
Oh, is it Cronenberg?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, he's got about 50 movies we can do. Did you have ones you wanted to do? You want to do Rabid, The Brood? Videodrome.
Videodrome, of course. Crash, The Fly.
The Fly.
Existenz, Scanners.
Oh, yeah, Scanners. He's got too many pretty good ones.
Oh, forgot a letter there. He does have a lot.
We do about 5 or 6 per director, I guess. 6 or so. Cronenberg might have to do 10.
Yeah, we might actually. Now that I'm looking at them, there's a lot here.
And even History of Violence is just a fun movie.
Yeah. Dead Ringers, Naked Lunch, Shivers.
I never saw Cosmopolis, but I'd be interested.
I'd be interested too. I quite like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, me too.
He's a very good actor.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's very fun. That's cool. And now your favorite movie is officially one of your favorite movies.
Videodrome is officially one of my favorite. I finally watched it for everyone who's been keeping up. I finally watched it. It's definitely like top 5 for sure.
Videodrome rocks, dude.
Yeah, it's a fucking cool movie.
Yeah, well, get your effing Blu-ray player going, and I'll send you the Criterion.
Oh yeah. All right, favorite shot. You want to move into favorite shot? I'm gonna have to pick more than one.
Okay, yeah, me too. I'm gonna say 4.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go first because we might have a lot in common, but I have a lot more jotted down. So.
Okay, so I have 2 that I liked and 2 that I just noted for being the iconic visuals of the movie.
Okay.
So the first one is at 15:05.
15:05.
And it's them kind of going in. And I thought the timing of this shot was pretty nice too, where the gate stops at the right frame with Herzog or with Kinski in the right spot and Claudia Cardinal there. I just find it a pretty shot. Nice composed. You don't see that ocean blue and white too much. They have the nice big hats. It's just a nice shot for aesthetics. Nothing other than that.
Right. Yes. The door swing I noticed too. It was cool.
It's good timing and it as well. The other one I have is at 30:50. And that I believe is just a nice big wide shot. They're looking out on the river. 2 of them, nice sunset happy hour. I think that was another issue. Why production took so long was that Herzog wanted to film most of the movie at magic hour.
Okay.
Where it's this kind of twilight golden sun or this kind of pinky sun. And this is just, I found this the best example of that in the moment because he also filmed that scene where all the canoes show up at the boat.
Yes.
In the magic hour. But that's a telephoto lens too. So it almost blew out the contrast a bit, and the shine was too much on the water for that. But I thought that was a good example of just the kind of pinky gold background that he was looking for. I have another one at 1 hour 16:54, and that's
I'm almost there.
That's the Herzog that's Kinski with the vinyl.
Oh yeah. This one I definitely have marked as well.
Yeah, this one here, but this is like the image of the movie.
Yeah.
Like this is on I don't know if you see ads all the time for Mubi, the streaming site. I always see this too. Is just this video playing of just him looking back and forth in the jungle with the record playing. So that's just an iconic one of the movie. And the other one was at 2:05:20, and that's just the fog.
The fog, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just another, like, that's the cover of the movie. That scene makes me fucking sick, that one. Where they're spitting the corn out to ferment it.
You wouldn't taste it?
That's disgusting, dude.
I would taste it. I would try it.
They said that Klaus Kinski was so grossed out, they had him drink milk instead because he didn't want to get sick. He thought it was disgusting.
So funny. He still looks grossed out.
I can't even watch this scene, I don't think. I close my eyes a bit like it's a horror movie and I'm a teenage girl or something.
Really? I would definitely try it.
Oh, no way. It's someone spitting out corn. Oh, I'm getting sick thinking about it. Oh.
What was the timestamp? I'm not finding it.
I just deleted the thing. It's 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Okay. 2:05:20.
Or maybe not. 2:05.
Maybe this shot is what you were talking about?
Maybe it is that shot. I guess. I don't know. But I mean, I
have some others near here.
Yeah. But those are all the things I had noted. If you want to hop into yours.
Okay. I'll go in order as well. My first one was at 32 something. That's the one we saw earlier where they're standing in front of the waterfall.
Okay. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. This is sick. Yeah.
Next one was 35:52. That's this one.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
The composition I felt was cool, and it's almost like because the river is usually green, but it's like a weird purple tone.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's an interesting color that I found we hadn't seen yet in the film.
And another example of the kind of late happy hour or late magic hour.
Yeah, Twilight.
Yeah. No, that's a really pretty shot.
51:38, I believe. Yeah, right when he gets right nice and close to the camera. Just this.
He's got a good face for movies.
Yeah, he does. He looks
and the teeth and everything and the weird facial gestures. He's got it all.
He would make a good Joker.
It probably would. I think
I got this one.
Yeah. No, not those tracks. This guy's just getting fucked over with his native.
Oh my god.
God, I've been here 5 years.
I felt so bad.
Okay, steal those tracks. Thank you, Mr. Fitzcarraldo. Thank you.
I have this one.
Then yeah. That's funny. Where they leave with these guys.
Yeah, they just ditch them.
That's funny.
That.
There's almost so many little instances and little moments in the movie that all add up together to make it bigger than the pieces.
Yeah, I had this one.
This is cool.
Yeah, nice dark, high contrast with the wood underneath.
A little flower too in the foreground. That's a massive tree. That's probably 80 feet tall, 100 feet tall.
Trees are insane.
That's crazy.
Next one's at
Look at the roots too on these things. Like these are mountains in themselves.
Yeah, I felt bad. I felt sicker watching this than watching them drink the juice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do feel bad with all these trees. Did you see the size difference too between the native guy and the engineer?
Oh, Hirococo and Cholo?
Yeah, the engineer was about 3 feet taller.
Yeah, I did notice that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have this one.
Yeah, this is sick. All these ones where it's just the natives looking mesmerized.
Yeah. I think we're going to find the fog one soon because I jotted that one down too.
Yeah.
Oh, I had this one. Him just being bummed.
Yeah. Well, this is a good, it's the despair that he feels and that Herzog feels too.
Yes. 203.50.
I like the good wide shot like that. Yeah. If that wasn't wide, if that wasn't like a full focus kind of, if it were shallow, it wouldn't have the same effect. That's a fantastic. Here we go.
Yeah, this one. There it is.
Yeah, I think that's the DVD cover all the time. This kind of.
Yeah.
And I mean, rightfully so. It's probably the most awe-inspiring shot in the movie.
You were talking about this shot?
Yeah, well, this one is just kind of cool. I like the kind of diagonal composition. You have the kind of 3 lines of color. You got the green, the brown, white, and the green again, and the boat kind of going. You really see the angle that they're pulling this thing up. Yeah,
and it's fucking crazy that this is real.
It's all, yeah.
This is actually them pulling up a giant-ass steamboat over a fucking mountain in the Amazon.
Yeah, and in Burden of Dreams, the engineer is like, okay, well, we're going to have it at a 20-degree incline, and we can do it. And Herzog said, 20 degrees? No, it has to be 40 degrees. Okay, that's impossible. You can't do it. He said, okay, well, we're going to do it anyways.
Love it. I had this one too, just them going back to work.
I like all the turning ones, and like there's one super low angle too where they're looking up at the guys.
I like there's something about just there's like the subtle the fog is like blue and orange, the subtle contrast between them I find makes all of these shots with the muddy natives and the foggy sky really aesthetically pleasing.
It's a beautiful movie. Out of all, I think it is very beautiful. Like, I find Heart of Glass more poetic, but this is very beautiful.
Yeah, I had this one.
Yeah, this is nice. It's
just cool. A good old boat.
Yeah. Ooh,
crooked.
Too, yeah.
Looks like it's almost on fire. And my last one is very near the end. Yeah, this one.
It is nice.
Just him enjoying his opera.
He loves it.
Yeah. Those were mine. I think my favorite would probably be one of the earlier ones I said.
The low angle in the waterfall.
Yeah, I think so.
That one's nice. That's a cool shot.
If I had to pick only one, I think it'd be that one. Apart from, the iconic ones.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The go-tos.
Mm-hmm. He looks triumphant. He's a good actor, Klaus Kinski. It's kind of funny, though. Have you watched any other Klaus Kinski movies other than...
No.
I watched a few of his Western movies, maybe 2 or 3 of his Western movies. Dr. Zhivago is supposed to be very good. I haven't seen that one. But Venus and Furs also. But I've been watching like his bad Western movies.
Okay.
And one I found kind of cool. It was, the movie, the Tarantino movie, Django Unchained.
Yes.
There's the song in it. His name was King. That's okay. For the German character in that movie. And I think that's a direct reference to Klaus Kinski in a movie called His Name is King. And the theme song for that movie is remade into the song in Django. And it's a fun movie. A lot of zooms and everything, but yeah, his other movies are absolutely terrible.
I would love to do a Klaus Kinski retrospective, but we only do his horror movies.
Oh, dude, he probably has 200 just of those, dude. This guy was doing
Crawl Space, Dracula, Creature, Schizoid. These all sound fantastic.
I mean, they're fantastic in a different way.
Jack the Ripper, just seeing Klaus Kinski as Jack the Ripper.
It would be fun.
He just looks psychotic all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And he's that character.
He is Jack the
Ripper. In the documentary about Herzog and Klaus Kinski.
Yeah, I just saw that. My best friend.
Yeah, my best fiend. I think. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
my best fiend. There's an interview with Herzog where he's mad at Klaus Kinski and he's yelling. He's like, Klaus has been in 300 movies and only people know him for the 2 that he's been in mine. Fucking asshole. He's made 300 bad movies and I make him 3 good movies and he thinks he's a star. But
it's true.
There are some. Cobra Verde is also pretty bad. That's a one.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
But you know what? Klaus Kinski's most popular is not a Herzog.
That's true. But the next 3 are.
The next 3 are, yes.
Yeah.
And then the next
4. Yeah. He is a good actor.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah. Did I tell you the story about how Klaus and him met each other?
I'm sure you have, but let's hear it again.
It was Herzog had watched a movie. It was a war movie, World War II movie. And there was some private who was Klaus Kinski. And the scene is someone yelling at the private and he has to go do something and he's asleep. And the shot was just him waking up. And Herzog said the waking up looked so real that he was the best actor he'd ever seen just from him waking up.
Oh my God.
And then later he found out that Klaus Kinski was doing theater roles where he played Jesus, but it was like a Q&A with Jesus and he would just yell at the audience and get in fights with the audience as a Jesus character.
Lovely.
He had no money. So then Herzog let Klaus Kinski stay at his parents' house with him. And they all lived together with his parents.
Oh my God.
And then they started making movies.
That must have been lovely.
I can't imagine how nuts. I don't remember all the anecdotes, but there must have been him locking himself in the bathroom and putting his head through the wall and just going nuts.
Do we do reviews or no? Not at all.
I'm not even tempted to do it. I don't know. It's up to you. Your call if you want to. We can go right to ours if you want.
Yeah, let's skip it.
Yeah. What did you think, Lee? First viewing, Fitzcarraldo?
It's hard because I have like my own personal ranking of the Herzog movies we've seen.
Okay, well, we got to get into that after for sure.
Yeah, we will. But I don't remember what I rated those.
I have a pretty good memory, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you know what? Things change with time, so I don't mind if I contradict myself.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd probably give this 7.5, 8. Okay,
fair.
What were you thinking?
I'll jump one above, maybe 8.5 for myself.
Okay. So a solid 8.
8 even. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair for me. I like that. But please, I'd love to hear your final thoughts. This is it. The finality of Herzog for the time being in the retrospective.
Yes.
His auteurship, his oeuvre, his everything together. How do you feel about his catalog as a whole? Or at least the 5 movies that we've watched of his so far. 5 or 6, I guess. And
I've seen a few. I've seen some of his documentaries on my own as well.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can include all those too.
Yeah. I love it. I think, but interestingly enough, I love it because of the revelation I had watching Fitzcarraldo.
Okay.
Before that, I was enjoying them, but I really didn't get it.
Okay.
I really could not for the life of me understand what was going on or why you like him so much.
Well, I'm fucking happy that it all clicks together.
And then something about Fitzcarraldo just made everything click. And it was like a fucking curtain raised before my eyes. And I was like, oh my God, I get it.
There you go.
I feel like I get Herzog now.
Rock and roll. I'm fucking happy. I'm very glad.
So now I love him.
Rock and roll.
After that, he quickly became top 3 directors.
He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Definitely. And I understand, like you always hear this term with creatives. I don't know if you're familiar with MF Doom.
Yeah.
Everyone calls him your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Okay, yeah.
And everyone calls Herzog your favorite director's favorite director.
Okay, yeah.
Because there are a massive amount of interviews where people reference Herzog as one of the best directors ever.
Yeah.
But no one, at least in our generation, really knows who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like this underground director who is insanely well known and has an insanely good reputation in the industry.
Yeah.
But that the general public, again, at least our generation, isn't really aware of or doesn't appreciate as much as others.
Yeah.
Like Lynch, everybody knows. Lynch is referenced constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Herzog is like this. I genuinely feel like Herzog is a better director
than David Lynch.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's a better filmmaker. I don't know if he's a better director.
Okay,
yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, okay.
I think he makes better stories that you can feel, but Lynch might make more interesting image stories, you know?
Okay, yes, yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
I think Lynch might be the director and Herzog might be the filmmaker.
Okay, that makes sense. But
yeah, saying that, he is one of my favorite directors.
Very quickly he ramped up to the top of that list.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm very happy that you like him now.
Yeah,
I'm very happy.
What about you? Any new revelations after watching them all over again?
I mean, I like him more the more I watch him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The more I watch him, the more I like him. Like this one, the first time I watched it, I probably would have gave it a 7 or something. Went, it's a bit long. Second time, 7.5. Now give it an 8. You know, I'm sure in a year I'll watch it a few more times and it'll just keep going up. And
yeah,
like Heart of Glass, I've seen probably 10 times already.
That's a 10er for you.
That's a 10er for me. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, Heart of Glass I find is amazing.
Yeah,
and Stroychek is just too funny. I'm laughing the whole way through Stroychek. And even Dwarf started small too. I'm crying of laughter the entire time. But the images are also so beautiful. Like, I don't know, in Gary, the Wrath of God too, you feel insanity. You feel loss and despair and hopelessness. I mean, it's all there. I don't know. I think he's fantastic.
I could not agree more.
Yeah. And hopefully when we do that Nosferatu double or triple feature, we'll continue to laugh and enjoy ourselves, because that's a fun movie. It's not one of his best, but it's one of his most fun.
I think we definitely should do the triple feature, because it'd be interesting to see them side by side, the shot-for-shot remakes.
Yeah. Well,
especially if the new one is also a shot-for-shot remake.
No, because that first one, the Murnau movie, that's a fucking good silent movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you watch that and you go, wow, this is sick. You know, like I think the Murnau one is better than the Herzog one. Okay. But who knows, once we watch all 3 back to back, maybe we'll see some different things, but
true. And we'll that's Eggers, right? Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Robert Eggers, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go the long way to find him.
Oh, we'll get him.
Oh, here it is. They have a poster now.
Oh, it even looks like Klaus Kinski in it.
So far, still only Anya Taylor-Joy and Drew Dally Hopper.
Well, I'm not entirely, because in that poster, that looks like Klaus Kinski in the back.
I'd imagine it's Drew Hopper if they're the only 2 cast members.
Let's load up this Drew Hopper, because
There you go.
That's it. Oh my God. I'm doing a Googling on my phone.
Writers Bram Stoker, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for this. I don't know when it's coming out, but I cannot wait.
That's gonna.
It's a loose reimagining of Murnau's 1922 classic. Okay. So it will not be a shot-for-shot remake. But
that's fun. I mean, we see the original, which is also just the ripoff of Dracula.
Yeah.
But it's the new telling of it, and then you get the shot-for-shot, and then you get the reimagining. It's pretty fun, all 3.
And Eggers is insane.
He's really good.
As far as contemporary directors go, he's definitely one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, The Lighthouse was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait for that one.
The Northman should come out soon as well. I think they just wrapped filming.
Mission of Revenge, Father Murder based on the day. Prince Amleth. Sounds fun. And it's with Anya Taylor-Joy as well.
Yeah, the cast is...
Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe. Bjork is in it.
Bjork is in it. Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman.
Oh, yeah, I missed her. Oh, wow.
It's quite the cast.
Oh, that's fun. All right, well, final words on Herzog. What do you say? You like him?
Love him. Should we rank the movies we covered, or?
Yeah, if you want to, sure.
It's pretty easy for me. Heart of Glass, Strocek, Aguirre, Fitzcarraldo, Even Dwarf Started Small.
I think mine's similar, where I'd go Heart of Glass, then Aguirre, and then the rest is pretty well in the same order.
Okay, yeah. You wouldn't rank Even Dwarf Started Small above Fitzcarraldo?
Now seeing it, I think Fitzcarraldo's a better movie.
Yeah.
But Even Dwarf Started Small is more fun and funny.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to rank this because it's you watch it, it's an experience, but it's really, you can't tell, nothing is going on.
No, exactly.
You have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, the images are beautiful and they're also really funny at the same time, which is a feat in itself to do, to make something funny like that and beautiful. But I mean, you want some kind of story, some kind of narrative, some kind of anything above to tie things together to make it at least a cohesive piece rather than just little points of moments. But it's very fun. I love that movie too. Very
wicked.
Fun. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Lee. I'm glad after all this time and all my ranting about him that you enjoy him. And thanks for putting up with me retelling the same stories over and over again. And
no, Nicholas, thank you.
Having a big boner for him, but I enjoy him quite a bit.
And I thank you for exposing me and all of our viewers to an absolutely amazing director.
He is good. And if you have a chance, try and find that interview with him in the jungle. Herzog talks about the jungle because it is fucking funny.
I'm probably just going to watch this.
It's good. Yeah, it's good enough for the watch. Yeah. You
want to rate this one just for fun?
Yeah, this is a 3, maybe. So 6, I guess.
All right.
5.5 on 10, I guess. Like it's a normal documentary, but just the insight on Herzog and the movie is fun. Like
it's more just fun for people like us than anything else.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you like the movie and you like Herzog, then you're going to like that. But if you just watch it as a documentary, you go, oh, it's an old styled documentary.
Yeah.
But thanks again, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Lee, for putting up with this.
What a pleasure it's been.
And next week, I think we might be doing the same thing, but with a bigger cast.
Oh, it's true. We have 2 guests.
2 guests. Well,
Dante's coming back, of course. He was just out for this one because we started this Herzog adventure without him.
Yeah. Well, so we started this 2 years ago, probably. I'm glad we're coming to an end now, at least, or an intermission in his story.
But yeah, next week we have 2 guests.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back to Lynch. We're going to do Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, new guest, so stay tuned.
Yeah, brand new. It's going to be quite the episode.
Oh, I'm excited for that too.
I'm very excited.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. That's iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, all those things, Gmail, Instagram,
Gmail.